Great piece, great piece, great piece. All right. This right here we have a plant that is still doing well. This plant is still doing well, but I'm concerned that some of the stems may die off. As a result of trauma. I had to bring them in my room because the kids, they were wrestling around it, and this one right here, as you can see, it broke off. So I'm hoping that it stays around. I'm hoping that it does well. But that was my mistake, putting it around the kids, because when inactivity comes a little bit, they may want to come over here and break a leaf or something. So this right here, I'm trying to make sure that it stays alive. I'm trying to make sure, I just watered it, right? I gave it some spring water. I'm hoping that it stays alive. I'm hoping that it doesn't die off, But this is a plant, you know what I mean? You want to have it around the kids. It helps with their oxygen levels. And so I just brought it in my room, and this right here, it's going to until it dies, right? Given that it stays alive, until it dies, it'll be giving the atmosphere more chlorophyll levels. You want to have an environment where there's a high level of chlorophyll. This plant right here, you can see right here, this one right here is kind of dried. It's dead, it's dead. But if you live in an environment where you have high levels of oxygen, you have high levels of chlorophyll, your respiratory will be better. You won't have respiratory diseases. It'll just be better. And I noticed, with plants that are deeply concentrated with chlorophyll, you tend to have more energy level, during the morning, during the evening, during the afternoon, you tend to have more energy levels. So this plant right here, I'm excited to have it. I have 2 more of these, and I have 2 more downstairs. I'm going to try to get 6 more of these. I'm going to try to get as many as I can. You want to, have an environment where, everything as far as, warding off spells, warding off diseases. You want to have plants. Plants help a lot with, people who deal with a lot of negative spirits in their environment. You have a plant. What the plant is going to do is it's going to make everybody have a positive mood, even when people see it, right? When people see the plants, they're going to have a positive mood. So you get a plant and you want to keep it, you don't want to necessarily dig a hole in your yard and plant it. A plant like this is good for indoor and outdoor. You have something like this in the outdoors during the summer and you bring it in during the winter, it's going to continue to look the same. This one right here is not the best of the plants that I have as far as the way it looks, but this is just one of them that have a deep concentration level of chlorophyll. And you can see this one right here, this is starting to brown a little bit. So I need to find out what I can do to kind of heal it. And, apps allow you to do that as far as with software development. But the soil looks good. I just watered it, so I'm hoping that the roots are going to benefit from that. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm looking forward to getting some more of these right here. These are good plants. They're affordable, and you know what? Come summer, come spring, these are plants you want to have around. So I'm going to try to support this plant right here, push it up a little bit. Hopefully I don't break it. But it's already broke, so we'll see how it goes. Great piece, Yakoki.